Hello everybody. Okay, so today I wanted to do a little video about what my experience was like as someone who had been learning German and when I went to Germany last year. Now, as you all know, my German level is not super high. I would say it's probably at like a lower A2 level now. When I went there, it was like kind of in between A1 and A2. So before I went, I was very obsessed with this like topic because just kind of wanted to know what to expect and what people's experiences was like. And I have to say, first of all, I didn't find that many videos, so I definitely want to record this to help people out that might be looking for this similar topic. And then also, my experience, the videos I did find, it didn't really match any of them. So let's go ahead and talk about that. So going into it, based on other people's experiences, I had expected that, I would probably try to speak German to them and they would probably just switch to English, specifically because I was going to Berlin. I did visit some other cities and we'll get to that in a moment, but that's kind of what I was expecting and that's not really what happened. I did stay near like the Ostkreuzbahnhof, like on the east part of town. So I've been told by some people that that might be why I didn't have people ever really switch to English for me. Not that I wanted them to or expected them to. I was actually really glad that that didn't really happen because I was really worried that I was going to go there and then not get to practice at all. Um, but I did go to the West a couple times. I feel like most of the time, though, honestly, when we was in Berlin, we was in the East. We did go to the North and the South a little bit for like the Tempelbahnhof, like not the Tempelbahnhof, the Tempelflughafen. Is that what they're called? The airport that closed. That's like a park now. We went there. I think that's kind of like on the south side. I think it was near the Südkreuz station, so probably. And then I think I think the closest really we got to West Berlin. I mean, we got off the train and kind of walked around a little bit, but like the Zoolog. Let me look up the word before I say it. Okay, so this might be wrong, but the Zoologische Garten, that area, and like the Mall of Berlin area, which kind of is west-ish. It looks like it's kind of west. It looks like on the map, but I still didn't really have that experience, and we didn't really eat out that much there, other than we did the mall some. And I guess at the mall we had a couple experiences, but it was interesting because one of them in particular, we went to Immelgrün in the mall, and I ordered in German. And the one of the times that we went, the cashier, I don't think she knew German because she went and got a coworker, and they came and took my order in German. So but I don't know that many words, so I don't know. I think my accent's gotten worse now since then. I don't know if my accent was good, and they just maybe thought that I was, more advanced than I was. But I wouldn't say that. Don't let that scare you if you're not super advanced, because like, I'm the type of person that this is just me in general. But I did have a little anxiety, like ordering and stuff, because wasn't super advanced in vocabulary, and I was worried that they was going to ask something that I didn't know. And I mean, that did happen some, but I only ever had a couple times someone switch to English. Let's go ahead and talk about that. So the first experience I can think of that someone switched to English on me was when I was in the Friedrichstrasse area, which I think is a pretty touristy part of town, and I was in a Lush Cosmetics. And this is interesting because the manager, she sounded, based on her accent, I think she might have been from the UK. So she might not have known German because she didn't speak German to me at all. I don't. She came up to us and asked us if we needed help in English. That's what it was. And then so it's kind of funny though, because I was like, oh, maybe the workers at the store don't know German. I was like, I don't want to speak German if they don't know German. So I go up to the cashier with. She told me to go over there and have him cut the soap that I needed because they had a soap that I wanted. And I go to tell him that I needed the soap, and he did know English, and it was fine. But there was like a couple things, and like it was like this thing of like he had to like ask me what I said again or whatever kind of thing. You know what I mean? And so I did end up switching to German at some point, but we kind of, like me and him kind of went back and forth. Anyways, that was the Lush Cosmetics lady. And then that was like one of the main ones that spoke English to me. And then the second like big one that did was at a Mexican restaurant, and I don't think he really knew German because I started to try to speak German, and like he kind of communicated a little bit, but it didn't seem like he knew that much German. He was a lot more comfortable with English, I think. Um, because I told him I was like, oh, we can switch to English, and he's like, yes. So that was that. I didn't really have anyone else speak English the entire time other than that, really, in Berlin. Which, again, I was fine with. I definitely did avoid sit down restaurants more than I would like, though, just because I knew that there would be some complex questions. I don't know if we went to any sit down restaurants. I mean, kind of, but not really. We was going to, but I just didn't know the proper etiquette. Actually, no, we did go to a sit-down restaurant. Oh no, we did go to a sit-down restaurant. I blacked that out of my memory. This wasn't in Berlin. So one of the other cities I visited, Stendal, that was like really the only other city we visited other than like the suburbs of Berlin. We wanted to go on an ICE Anzug, and so we went to Stendal. It had a really beautiful, like, different historical things there in Stendal, and it was really cool. We got off. Really, most of the day was fine. We did have two interesting experiences. The first one was in Kaufland. Kaufland itself wasn't an interesting experience, but so inside Kaufland there was a Bootmeisterei Steinecke, and it was interesting. I think it's because it was a smaller town. Well, first of all, the entire trip I was there, I didn't speak English to people. Um, but it was interesting because this person here at this particular store, and I don't say this to scare people, but I do want to give an honest experience that I had. This was the only person the entire time I went there that, because my German wasn't that good, she was like actually angry, like really angry, and it was like this whole thing. I kind of blacked out the details of exactly what happened in our conversation or why exactly she got angry. She was mad because we had just bought some drinks in Kaufland, and I was like, I said it in German, but I was like, we're not drinking these here. Um, and she's like, okay. And I don't know, it was just kind of weird. We had like some time to pass and we wanted like a little bite, so we did that. But it was an interesting experience, and it kind of scared us from going. Well, it specifically scared me because he wasn't speaking German at all. I went with my fiance. He wasn't speaking German at all, so it specifically scared me from going to a small town and like really ordering from people again after that. Um, and then also while we was there, we did go to a sit-down restaurant. Actually, their old downtown was really beautiful. I do want to add that. Let me look up the name of this restaurant we went to. Okay, yes. So we went to Steakhouse Mendoza in Stendal, and it was pretty good. We didn't really have any bad experiences. Like the ordering process went fine. Um, the food itself was interesting, but we're not going to get into that. But the ordering like language process went pretty well. The food wasn't bad, I should say. It was just different from what I expected. It was supposed to be an Argentinian restaurant, but I don't think it was very authentic, which is fine. The food was still good, but anyways, yeah, the ordering that went well. There was like I don't even know how to put into words what exactly felt different, but like you know how like in America, the UK, wherever you are, you have your set way things go at a restaurant, like the way just things work at a restaurant in your country. Obviously, they're going to be different everywhere. They were different here. And it's like, I don't know, it felt here, and then we went to a buffet in Berlin once, and that's why I said almost kind of a sit-down restaurant, but not really. Like, the process to get your bill is kind of interesting. And honestly, we spent more time at the restaurant waiting to get our bill and pay than like we did on the food or anything else. It was a weird experience for me, not in a bad way, but it just was different for me, you know. Um, but I mean, there wasn't really anything bad language wise there either. I mean, she understood everything I asked for. I understood everything she asked. We didn't really say that much to each other. When we got to the end, the rest of the dessert that I ordered, they was out of, and then I was like, okay, do you have this dessert? And she's like, no. Obviously, I said all this in German. And then it was weird. She went to go get the bill, I think, at the same time, but then she brought back two shots for us of like some kind of drink. I still don't know exactly what they were. But it was interesting to get a free. It was free drinks that she gave us like that for I guess the inconvenience of not having that dessert or whatever, which was nice of her. It was really nice. And also going on the ETA and stuff was really cool. Was there any transportation issues when it comes to languages? I think at the Berlin airport, getting on the U-Bahn to go into the city was a little weird of a layout, kind of. I mean, we made it. Like, it wasn't a big deal. Um, but yeah, it was a little strange, but it went pretty good. Um, I think the biggest thing, actually, that we did was when you're in Berlin, make sure that you're not getting on like regional trains to go somewhere else in the city. Google Maps will try to get you to. Let me look up an example here real quick. Okay, so like this right here, I'm not going to show it on my screen, but I went from Zoologische Garten, well actually Tiergarten is what I selected, it looks like. I didn't even realize that. And then I selected to go to Berlin Ostkreuz Bahnhof. And so S7 would be the thing that I would definitely recommend for tourists with that particular route. But it also suggests FEX, you know, some numbers, or RB23 or RE2 or RE7 right now at this exact moment. And, you know, while you technically can, I just would be very careful because the first time, actually, the only time we ever tried to do that in Berlin, it went in the wrong direction. I don't even remember exactly where we was going. I think we was going to like Westbahnhof or like maybe the Bel. I don't even remember exactly. But we ended up going to. I'm pretty sure we ended up going to Erkner. Wherever we went, because see, we only had a ticket for like the all of Berlin area. I forget exactly what the ticket was called now, but I was really worried. I'm like, are we gonna leave the zone and this ticket's not gonna be good anymore, and then we're gonna get in trouble? But honestly, from looking at this map right here, it looks to me like we did go slightly out of the zone. So if anyone in Germany is watching, that didn't happen. This is allegedly. Um, so we did have to walk a little bit in Erkner to get to an S-Bahn station that was, I think, well, I don't know if we had to because it looks like there's an S-Bahn station there. But I think our ticket didn't, I think it was just for Berlin, not Brandenburg. And so we had to walk to one that was, I think, actually in Berlin limits, kind of, or like the state, what, I don't know exactly how the municipality works there, but I think we did have to walk a little bit to another station, but that was a scary scenario. So just be very careful to not get on the wrong direction and taking a regional train when going in the same city. In fact, I would probably just avoid a regional train if you're going somewhere within the city you're in. If you're taking like an actual regional journey, like the regional trains are fine, of course, but for city travel, no. And going to the airport on the way home, I was really worried because we had to take a regional train. Well, we didn't have to, but we did take a regional train from the Ostkreuz Bahnhof to the airport, and I was very scared because of that experience. But yeah, language-wise, I don't think we really had any issues traveling. We didn't really have any issues food-wise other than the couple of things in Stendal that I talked about. it kind of makes me scared to go back to a small city in Germany, knowing only, at an A anything level. But that's just because I have my own anxiety. I think that you probably would be fine. I mean, the reason why I shared the one story that was, negative is just because, that's going to happen anywhere you go. This isn't like, a thing specific to Germany. Like, there are going to be people like that anywhere. So it's not going to be like perfect smooth sailing. Oh, you don't have to worry about anything at all. Like, of course, like there are going to be people that, do and say things like that. But overall, I was fine. I don't know. I think that if you're at an A2 level, A1 level even, and you're going to be doing that and you have anxiety about it, the thing I would personally recommend is making sure that your accent and your like pronunciation is really good. I'd probably try to practice listening a little bit too by like watching shows and stuff. Because I was able to follow along when I needed to in situations mostly, but I was able to get like 40% of what they said and I kind of had to fill in the gaps from there. Um, so, yeah, I think that is about it. If there's any specific things you want to know about my trip in regards to, being a learner of German, let me know and I will maybe make another one of these about a different topic of my trip or something like that. I do want to say on a side note, it's really sad, specifically in America. There's like nowhere really in America anymore that German is common enough that like you can be surrounded by it. Like Spanish, Chinese. There are so many different languages and different cultures, even Italian and stuff in certain neighborhoods in New York or French. Um, but specifically New York, some of these languages in Chicago, but like there's really nothing for German. It's really sad. Anyways, I hope that you guys have a good day. Like I said, let me know if you have any specific things, and I will see you later. And also, if there's like another topic about my trip that you want to know, like specific about food and different stuff, because there was so much good food we went, and I have some recommendations and stuff there too. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next ASMR video, probably. I don't know.